There are acts of kindness that don't win hearts. They kill respect. Most men perform them daily, believing it makes them good. They call it empathy. They call it maturity. They call it decency. But beneath those noble names hides something ancient and ugly: fear. Fear of being disliked. Fear of confrontation. Fear of standing alone. And the world smells that fear like blood. It moves closer, not with gratitude, but with hunger. Every culture preaches compassion, but every hierarchy rewards dominance. When you give without discernment, you don't awaken love. You awaken calculation. They start to measure you. How much can they take before you resist? How much can they demand before your spine stiffens? And when they realize it never does, they stop seeing you as human. You become a tool, a smiling, self-erasing servant of everyone's comfort but your own. Understand this: kindness is not weakness. It becomes weakness only when it hides cowardice. The man who cannot say no is not kind, he is afraid. The man who gives until he bleeds is not noble, he is addicted to being needed. And the man who never defends his boundaries is not gentle, he is invisible. Most call this humility, but humility was never the absence of power, it was the restraint of it. What most call kindness today is submission with a halo, and the world doesn't bow to halos, it feeds on them. A man who fears being disliked will always be controlled by those who know how to withhold approval. They won't have to command him. He'll volunteer himself. He'll anticipate what they want before they speak. He'll give his time, his money, his peace, all to preserve the illusion that he's respected. But no one respects a man who values peace over power. You've seen him, the man who helps everyone move, who stays late at work because someone else forgot their task, who listens to everyone's pain but speaks of none of his own. And when his life collapses, silence. The world vanishes, because they only respected his usefulness, not his soul. He is the man everyone praises but no one fears, the friend everyone trusts but no one obeys, the worker everyone relies on but no one promotes, and deep down he knows it. He feels the quiet contempt in their smiles. His niceness has become their convenience. This is the oldest tragedy in human nature. The kind become slaves to the ungrateful, because power does not reward intention, it rewards self-respect. Every empire, every kingdom, every family runs on this law. People rank you by what you tolerate. You can speak softly, act kindly, and still command respect if your kindness comes from strength. But the moment it comes from fear, your silence becomes permission. They test you once, then twice, and if you never resist, they decide you never will. That's the secret economy of human behavior. Every favor given without balance devalues your worth. Every apology made without necessity teaches others your dignity is negotiable, and every rescue you perform for those who won't save themselves turns you into the emotional laborer of their dysfunction. They'll call you loyal, they'll call you selfless, they'll call you a good man. But behind those words lies contempt, because they know you serve not from virtue, but from dependency. Act I, the disease of yes. The first act of kindness that kills respect is over-accommodation. The disease of yes, the reflex to agree before you've even thought. You think you're being cooperative, but what you're really saying is, my comfort doesn't matter. You say yes to tasks you hate, yes to favors that drain you, yes to invitations that steal your focus. You say yes because you fear that no will make them leave, but every yes makes them stay for the wrong reason. You think your compliance wins affection, but it breeds only expectation, and expectations become invisible chains. The man who says yes to everyone eventually cannot say yes to himself. Watch how it seeps into the smallest moments. Someone interrupts you, and you let them. A co-worker dumps their mistake on you, and you fix it quietly. A friend vents for the 10th time, and you pretend to care. Each small surrender feels harmless until you look around one day and realize your time, your energy, yourself belong to everyone but you. The world doesn't thank you for being endlessly available. It concludes that you have nothing better to do. Every time you make yourself smaller so others feel bigger, you unconsciously train them to rank you beneath them, not from malice, from instinct. The human mind respects what resists. We chase what withholds. We devalue what submits. Your eagerness to please becomes the quiet announcement of your unimportance. You'll see it in their tone, their interruptions, their assumptions that you'll always adapt, not because they're cruel, but because you taught them to treat you this way. You taught them your boundaries are elastic, that your peace is expendable, that you will choose harmony even when it costs dignity. And like any predator, sensing weakness, they act accordingly. The world does not respect what does not resist. Even saints were feared. Even prophets spoke with fire. But the modern man believes goodness is harmless, and so he bleeds out quietly, calling it virtue. To reclaim respect, you must let discomfort return to the room. You must relearn the word no without apology. You must let silence stretch after refusal, because in that silence people measure your worth. They see that your kindness is a choice, not a reflex, that your mercy has power behind it. The man who can say no without fear commands more loyalty than the man who says yes without thought, because true kindness requires strength, the strength to withdraw it. Only then does your generosity have meaning. Only then does your peace have a price. Act 2. Loyalty, the silent leash. The second act of kindness that destroys respect is the kindness disguised as loyalty. It feels noble. It feels righteous. But it's a trap. This is the loyalty that makes you defend people who'd never defend you. That keeps you silent when you should speak. That makes you obedient when you should walk away. It's the devotion that makes a man mistake chains for honor. The world calls it faithfulness, but in truth, it's enslavement. When you serve loyalty blindly, you trade your crown for a leash, and the one holding it will always call it friendship. Men do this every day at work, in families, in love. They sacrifice their judgment to protect alliances that no longer serve them. They swallow disrespect to appear loyal. They tolerate betrayal to avoid being called cold. But loyalty without reciprocity is not strength, it's delusion. You think your silence earns and trust, but it signals obedience. You think your endurance earns admiration, but it trains others to believe you have no limit. When loyalty becomes submission, respect dies quietly behind it. You are no longer dependable. You are predictable. And predictability, in the eyes of power, is the death of leverage. I've seen men defend masters who mock them, protect institutions that exploit them, cling to lovers who drain them all under the illusion that loyalty makes them noble. But loyalty, like kindness, must be selective. To be loyal to everyone is to betray yourself. Your loyalty must be strategic, conditional, measured not to preserve comfort, but to preserve worth. When your devotion is unconditional, you tell the world you have no price, and what has no price has no value. Those above you will use your allegiance to maintain their power. Those beside you will exploit it to avoid accountability. Those below you will imitate it and call their weakness virtue. The tragedy, you'll think your sacrifice will be remembered, but memory fades fastest in those who benefit from your pain. They'll take your effort, your protection, your silence, and when you finally demand fairness, they'll call you ungrateful. The loyal man becomes the scapegoat, blamed when things go wrong, ignored when things go right. And when he collapses, he is replaced before his seat grows cold. The world never mourns the man who never demanded respect. True loyalty is not endurance, it is alignment. Remain only where your loyalty is honored. Withdraw it where it's not. A king loyal to traitors loses his throne. A worker loyal to exploiters loses his freedom. A man loyal to those who mock his kindness loses himself. Loyalty should be an exchange of power, not a gift of submission. It's not betrayal to walk away from those who abuse your faith. It's intelligence. You owe no eternal allegiance to those who thrive on your silence. Society calls leaving selfish. It calls boundaries cold. It calls protecting your peace arrogance. But understand, they're only angry because they can no longer feed on you. Let them call you ruthless. Let them call you disloyal. Every insult reveals what they hope to gain from your blindness. The Machiavellian mind understands this. Loyalty is a weapon, not a virtue. It binds armies, forges empires, stabilizes kingdoms, but only when it is wielded, not when it is given freely. Control who deserves it. Withdraw it when it's wasted. Let it burn bridges that no longer serve your throne, because people respect boundaries more than bonds. They fear losing what is not guaranteed. The man who can walk away once teaches others never to push him twice. That is not cruelty, that is control, and control is the essence of power. Do not confuse love with loyalty. Do not confuse patience with faith, and never confuse endurance with strength. The world does not reward how long you suffered. It rewards how well you command your exit. There is mercy in walking away. There is intelligence in coldness. There is dignity in silence. And when you master the art of withholding loyalty, your presence alone commands what your words never could respect: caution and quiet awe. But there's another kindness more seductive than loyalty, more dangerous than submission. It feels like love, but it corrodes respect faster than betrayal ever could. That, my friend, is Act 3